Hi, welcome to DP2 Insights. In this video, we're going to take a quick look at using the key and some elements of the Fix tab in the Chromakey workflow in Manage Images. So I'm going to select this first image, and I'm going to select in DP2 the Cut feature, which is going to allow me to do one of a series of things. The first is I can use Autocut, which would allow me to rely on DP2 algorithms. These have really pretty dramatically improved over the last three versions of DP2. And when I'm in auto mode, I could select one or I could select all of them for the purposes of my demonstration. I'm just going to select this first one. On the left-hand side, I have the ones that are chroma-keyed. Obviously, I don't have choices, but you can see once the cut has been made, I have it set to green. On the right-hand side of the screen, I have it set to the mask, to view the mask so that I can take a look at what's happening. When you're using the Manage Images interface, you may want to take a look at a larger sampling of that image. You'll want to be on high resolution so that you can get a better idea or better understanding of what's actually happening. So that looks pretty good. I'm going to save it and move to the next image. In this particular image, I'm going to take a slightly different approach, and that is I'm going to use the auto cut from the right-hand icons, and I want to do that so that it allows me to do an auto cut first. Once I've done the auto cut, then from here I could remember this current calibration, so I select to remember it. I might make a couple of corrections. It depends again on what your workflow is. But I'm going to save and move on to the next one because the reason that I selected to remember the current calibration was so that I could apply that current calibration to the next image. And it's again, it's one more tool in your cutting tool set, which will allow you to use the information from the last one on this next one. In addition to that, we can also save this calibration so that if once I've applied it and I've seen that it's working fairly well, I could go ahead and name it. I'm just going to add to the name that I already had there. You can just type in here. And I'll go ahead and then I'll save that calibration name. That will allow me then to, from the key tab, use those saved calibrations. I could do it from the other one as well, but that will allow me then, if I save this and move on to the next image, I can use that saved calibration here. And again, you can see it all once I selected it, defaulted to saved. I could have used a remembered one here. And I can go ahead and calibrate those images. I'm doing it one at a time so I can simply show you the tool sets. As I move forward, of course, I could go ahead and select the remaining images as well as use the tool set to fix those remaining images. And in this case, I'll go ahead and fix it just so I can kind of discuss what's happening in this particular environment. So if I needed to go ahead and fix that, and really I'm going to blow this up so that I can kind of take a look at what's happening. And I'm going to look at it on gray so that I can see if I have any spill as an example, and I do. So this is actually going to be a pretty good example. One of the tools in the fix, and it takes a little practice. In addition to that, you want to take a look at the help files. But I'm going to go ahead and use the spill sponge. The matte sponge and the spill sponge are a greater degree of correction than spill plus and spill minus, and then of course adding detail back in. So in this case, I'm going to select the spill sponge. And what I want to do is really only interact with that area that I'm concerned about. So by selecting it there, I selected the rectangular icon here in the toolbar. And I'm just simply going to select that area that I have concern about. And you can see that DP2 went ahead and made the correction to eliminate that green cast from the background. And again, I have as well a similar issue in her little flower. So this is a case where I might want to do one as a one-off. And then again, it's a matter of really zeroing in on that area that I'm interested in. I'm not crazy about the correction. You have the ability to undo in this environment. So perhaps I'm going to take less of that white and a little bit more of that green, and you can see just to minimize that. So as I zoom back out, I get a better sense of what's happening with this child. I could also view it on a background, and I'll talk a little bit more about that when we go through some of the rest of the tools in the Manage Images Chroma Key workflow. Thank you.